You may not know TSMC, but you rely on it every day. It's the invisible force powering your digital life. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, is the world's most important company you've never heard of. TSMC doesn't make its own chips or sell gadgets. Instead, it manufactures the brains for Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, and Qualcomm. The big names design, TSMC builds. This contract manufacturing model has made TSMC the undisputed king of advanced semiconductors. When Apple wants a faster iPhone chip, they send the design to TSMC. TSMC turns silicon wafers into the microscopic chips that run our world. Its market share in high-end chips? Over 90% for the most advanced technology. That's not just leadership, it's a near monopoly on the future. Why does this matter? Because everything is becoming a computer. Cars, appliances, AI, 5G, you name it. And almost all of it runs on chips made in TSMC's Taiwan facilities. This concentration of power is both a marvel and a massive risk for the global economy. One company in one place holds the keys to the digital kingdom. The scale is staggering. Billion-dollar factories, robots and sterile clean rooms, circuits measured in nanometers. This wasn't luck. It's decades of investment, relentless innovation, and a strategy led by founder Morris Chang. But TSMC's dominance now brings new challenges. The world's dependence on one company in one location is a flashing red light. As we'll see, TSMC's success is forcing it to confront a future far beyond Taiwan. The company's next moves will shape the future of technology. TSMC's story is no longer just about chips, it's about global power, and the stakes have never been higher. Taiwan's semiconductor industry is more than an economic engine, it's a silicon shield. The logic, if the world needs Taiwan's chips, it has a reason to protect Taiwan. An attack on TSMC would trigger a global economic crisis, halting everything from phones to military hardware. This dependence has made Taiwan strategically vital, deterring aggression. But the shield cuts both ways. Taiwan is now the world's most critical flashpoint, caught in the US-China rivalry. The US wants secure access to chips. China sees Taiwan's industry as a national prize. TSMC is at the center of this great power competition. The world is waking up to the risks of relying on one island for its most critical technology. Governments everywhere are pushing for chip diversification. They want their own supply, not just a shield. This pressure is forcing TSMC to rethink its Taiwan-centric strategy. The silicon shield is no longer enough. The world wants a backup plan. TSMC's fate is tied to China, the dragon in the room. Beijing's claim over Taiwan is the biggest threat to TSMC and the global tech industry. Under Xi Jinping, China's rhetoric and military posturing have intensified. The risk isn't just invasion. A blockade or cyber attack could cripple TSMC's operations. This puts TSMC at the center of a geopolitical chessboard. For customers like Apple and NVIDIA, the threat of supply chain disruption is a boardroom nightmare. They're demanding TSMC build fabs in safer, more stable regions. For TSMC, this means balancing its roots in Taiwan with the need to diversify abroad. Every new fab is a geopolitical statement. The company must appease Western partners without provoking Beijing or abandoning Taiwan. TSMC is no longer just a chipmaker. It's a key player in a global power struggle. Its every move is scrutinized by governments and corporations alike. The stakes? The future of technology and global stability. TSMC's challenge is to navigate this minefield without losing its edge. The world is watching every step. The next move could change everything. Beyond geopolitics, TSMC faces a resource crunch at home. Making advanced chips devours electricity and water, two things Taiwan lacks. A single fab can use as much power as a small city. Taiwan's power grid is strained, and the government is phasing out nuclear energy. Renewables and natural gas are filling the gap, but the transition is rocky. Blackouts are a real threat for TSMC, where power loss isn't an option. Water is another headache. Chipmaking needs vast amounts of ultra-pure water. Taiwan's rainfall is inconsistent and droughts are becoming more frequent. In 2021, water had to be trucked to TSMC's fabs to keep them running. Climate change will only make things harder. These limits cap TSMC's growth in Taiwan. Building fabs abroad isn't just about politics, it's about finding stable resources. Taiwan's physical limits are pushing TSMC to look overseas. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of global supply chains. Suddenly, the world realized that everything, from cars to consoles, depended on a few factories in Taiwan. The chip shortage shut down automakers and left shelves empty. The problem: extreme concentration. One disaster in Taiwan could halt the world's tech. Earthquakes, not just wars or pandemics, could knock TSMC offline for months. The economic fallout would be in the trillions. Governments can't ignore this risk anymore. The new buzzword: supply chain resilience. The US, EU, and Japan are all pushing for local chip production. TSMC is under pressure to decentralize, building fabs around the world. This is a fundamental shift from its centralized, Taiwan-focused model. Decentralization means higher costs and complexity, but it's now a necessity. TSMC's business model is being rewritten by global demand for security. The world wants chips and a backup plan. TSMC is going global, transforming from a Taiwan champion to a multinational giant. The first big move: a massive new fab in Arizona, USA. This is a direct response to US pressure and customer demand. The Arizona project is one of the largest foreign investments in US history. TSMC is also expanding in Japan, building a fab in Kumamoto with partners like Sony. Japan's strength in materials and equipment makes it a strategic choice. In Europe, TSMC is building its first factory in Dresden, Germany, focused on automotive chips. Each new fab, Arizona, Kumamoto, Dresden, serves a specific regional market. This network makes TSMC less vulnerable to a single point of failure. The company is no longer just an island powerhouse. It's building a global web of advanced manufacturing. TSMC's expansion is reshaping the semiconductor landscape. The world's most important chipmaker is now everywhere, and it's just getting started. The Arizona fab is TSMC's boldest move and its toughest challenge. Building a state-of-the-art chip plant in the US has been anything but smooth. Delays, cost overruns, and culture clashes have plagued the project. Labor is a major hurdle. TSMC's skilled Taiwanese workforce is hard to replicate in the US. Disputes over bringing in Taiwanese workers highlight a skills gap. Costs are much higher in America. Labor, materials, regulations. Who pays for these pricier chips? That's a big question for TSMC and its customers. Despite setbacks, the Arizona fab is too important to fail. The US government and TSMC are all in. The project shows that reshoring chip production is far from easy. It's a test of TSMC's adaptability and America's industrial ambitions. The desert heat is proving just how hard global expansion can be. While Arizona gets the spotlight, TSMC's moves in Japan and Europe are just as strategic. The Kumamoto fab in Japan is a partnership with Sony and Denso, focused on mature but vital chip tech. Japan's expertise in materials and equipment makes this a smart play. Local partners smooth the process, avoiding the culture clashes seen in Arizona. The project has moved quickly and efficiently. The fab will serve Japan's huge automotive and electronics industries. In Germany, TSMC's Dresden plant targets automotive chips, a critical need for Europe. It's a joint venture, tailored for the region's car makers. TSMC isn't just copying its Taiwan model. It's building a diversified, purpose-driven network. Each fab serves a specific market and need. Together, they make TSMC less vulnerable to crises at home. The global network is TSMC's answer to a risky world. TSMC is walking a tightrope. Global expansion is a survival strategy, but it's risky. The company must balance international demands with its roots in Taiwan. Too much offshore production could weaken the Silicon Shield. Replicating TSMC's unique culture and innovation abroad is a huge challenge. There's a real risk of losing its edge and cost advantages. TSMC's future depends on managing this transition. It must evolve into a resilient global powerhouse. The era of quiet domination is over. TSMC is now a public actor on the world stage. The world has demanded it spread its wings, and TSMC is answering. The coming years will reveal if this gamble pays off. The fate of technology and global power hangs in the balance. The whole world is watching.